guys, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing the rest of the curriculum that we're going to be using for this coming school year. In my last video, I shared what we were doing for reading, writing, language arts, and math. And today I'm going to be talking about what we are doing for science and history, as well as what we're going to be using in our morning basket. So I'm going to go ahead and get started and share with you what we're doing in science this year. So for the last few years, we've been using Apologia elementary science books, and I love them. They're excellent, excellent books, especially if you're looking for something that's written from a Christian worldview. These books are filled with amazing facts about animals and about God's creation, and always point back to our Creator. And so I really enjoy these books. And so this year we're doing land animals of the sixth day. Last year we did flying creatures. And so this year we're going to be talking all about different kinds of land animals. And I'm totally geeking out and getting super excited just to learn about all these animals. This book covers a huge variety of land animals, and my kids love animals, and so I think this is going to be a really fun book to go through together this year. I went through the whole table of contents and I made a list of the different animals that we're going to be covering this year, and then I went to our library's website and I made a huge list of different nonfiction books that we could be reading and adding to our our curriculum and what we're studying in the textbook. So for example, we already own a lot of these National Geographic kids books, and they have beautiful pictures, really great pictures. They have so many different interesting facts about animals, and so we already have probably, I don't know, 7 or 8 of these books already. So they have a ton of these different National Geographic kids books that we have really enjoyed, and they have them levels pre-reader through level 3. And so I already flagged a bunch of those books from our local library, and as we need them, I'm planning to check them out from our libraries. So I'm really excited about that. I did go ahead and decide to order the junior notebooking journal. I don't buy one of these for each of my kids. I use this as the teacher for kind of supplemental things. So throughout here, there are different coloring sheets, activity sheets, maybe different observations for different experiments that you might do. So I utilize this book and I just make photocopies. As I find something that I think we might decide to do, then I just make photocopies with our printer, and then each of the kids has their own copy. So I'm going to be doing that kind of the same way I did last year with these kind of notebooking journals. And so that is what we're going to be doing this year for science. All right, for history this year, I had a hard time deciding what we were going to do. Last year we did the Mystery of History, and I really enjoyed it, and I was leaning towards doing it again this year. However, they haven't updated their volume 2 book to be a 3rd edition, and so I really liked the 3rd edition of volume 1 because it was a hardcover book. It had beautiful full color pictures, and so we didn't decide to go with the Mystery of History this year, even though it's an excellent curriculum. It has great content. For me, the pictures were really what pushed it over the edge and made it just beautiful. And so I think we're gonna hold off and not do the Mystery of History this year. We might decide to do it for volume 3 and 4 because those volumes have been updated to a 3rd edition. So I looked around a bit at some like the master books, and I looked at Sunlight and trying to figure out what we wanted to do. And in the end, I came back around and I decided, you know what, I think I'm gonna give The Story of the World another try. So this year we are gonna be doing The Story of the World, Volume 2, The Middle Ages. One thing that we did really enjoy about this curriculum when we used it a few years ago was the great stories. This book is really interesting because it does share history in a story form, and the kids are always captivated and engaged in the stories, and they're always excited about reading the next chapter. And so we're going to be trying this again this year and see how it goes. I also got the volume 2 activity book, which contains all their maps as well as different activities that you can do for each chapter. Then I also went through the table of contents of that book and I decided to purchase a few books that would kind of add on to what we were learning in the book. One book that I purchased is called Draw and Write Through History, And this one is about the Middle Ages, Vikings, the Middle Ages, and the Renaissance. So all throughout this book, there's different things you can draw depending on the time period. So for example, it teaches you how to draw a castle. So when we study the medieval period, we can maybe learn how to draw a castle together. Here's another example of drawing a knight. So some of these are a little advanced, but I think if we did them together with my older two kids, I think they would really enjoy it. There's a dragon in here. So I think this would just be another way to have fun with history. And also I can let them draw something as I'm reading to them. So if I'm reading about Vikings, I can show them the picture of the Viking ship and have them draw a Viking ship as they're listening. So I think that the kids are really gonna enjoy this book too this year. And then I got a few other kind of supplemental things to go along with the history. This book is called Raiders of the Sea, and I believe that it's a 4-part series. The series is called Viking Quest, and it's by Lois Johnson. So I decided to try out this and see how we like it. And then we'll kind of read this during the Viking time period that we're gonna cover. And another type of Viking book, I got several of these Who Was books. So this is Who Was Leif Erikson. The next one is Who Was Genghis Khan? We're gonna be learning about him this year. Who Was Marco Polo? So we got that one. Who Was Henry VIII? And then Who Was Queen Elizabeth? And I think each of these books was like $3 on Amazon. I thought that was really inexpensive. And then there was a couple other books that were not on sale that I'm gonna get from our local library. So with all those different things, I think our history is gonna be really rich this year and really enjoyable. And that has been one of my favorite subjects to teach, is history, because I feel like I'm learning it again for the first time, because a lot of these things I have forgotten as an adult. And so I'm just enjoying relearning it with my kids. So that is what we're doing for history and science. All right, the last area that I wanted to share with you guys is what we're gonna be doing in our morning basket. So this year for our morning basket is gonna consist of either history or science. We're gonna be looping those two every other day. And then I like to have some kind of either a devotional or Bible reading or read aloud that we're doing together. So these are mostly different like devotional type books that we'll be using, and then I'm gonna throw in some different read alouds as well. This one I got from Thrift Books, and it's called Hero Tales, a family treasure of true stories from the lives of Christian heroes. So I'm looking forward to doing this one as a read aloud. Some of the people that are covered in this book are Amy Carmichael, Martin Luther, Dwight L. Moody, Harriet Tubman, John Wesley, and so there's just several of those stories in here, and it's like just a condensed version of each person's biography. The next book is called Everything a Child Should Know About God. So this is going to be a very simple kind of devotional. I'm thinking about doing this more with my youngest two kids. I think it would be great for them because they are 2 and 5. So it's written very simply for young kids, but I think there's still some great truths in this book. So I think this will be a really quick read, but something that I'm looking forward to doing with the younger two kids. These last 3 books are ones that we have already started, and we're already about halfway through each of these books. So I'm just going to mention them briefly. The first one is called The New City Catechism. We've really enjoyed this book, and we also utilize their app quite a bit. The next book is by John MacArthur, and it's called A Faith to Grow On. This is a really great book filled with different biblical truths for kids. The last book is by Clay Clarkson, and it's called Our 24 Family Ways. So these are books that we've already started and that I'm hoping to finish this school year. So those are the different kind of devotional books that we'll be using, and then I'll probably incorporate a little bit of poetry and maybe some different read alouds in our morning basket as well. But these things are kind of the core for our morning basket, and then I'll just kind of throw in some other things throughout the year. So that's everything I had to share in today's video. Hope that you guys enjoyed seeing what we're going to be using this year. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below if you have already made your choices for the coming school year. If you have any questions, I will try to answer them if I can. And thank you as always for watching. I hope you have a great day. Bye.